What's up, guys? Welcome to the latest edition, episode, or whatever you want to call it, of the Terrible Towel post-game show. I am your host, SimFBallCritic, live from the still basement, aka the virtual Heinz Field. And oh boy, what a good night. What a good night. And I know. There is an elephant in the room that we will need to talk about, but we'll get there. I promise you, we will get there. But let me just say that first. There is an elephant in the room tonight. We will get to it. Some of you guys know what the elephant is. Some of you do not. We'll get there. But y'all know how we start these shows off. Again, post-game show is in and out, guys. Phone numbers on the screen, but that is more so for Terrible Towel Tuesday. Not accepting phone calls tonight. It's more so gut reactions. And, that's how we do it in the regular season. And then on Tuesday is where we have a little more detailed explanation of what may have happened in the game. Yada, yada, yada. But let's be quick, guys. It's preseason. And 1 second. Let me put on my headphones to make sure the music isn't too loud. Don't think so. Okay. But all right, let's say hello to the early commenters of the evening. See who we got here, man. Sun Moon 80, Y Diggy. Hello, Miss Lanisha. How you doing this evening? Thank you for tuning in. Jordan Mid, Steven Carpenter, Wave Dave 10, Shadow Slayer. Yes, he did. A lot of milk did do his thing. We'll get to it. My good brother Ron Simpson is in the building. Aaron Morse, Lee Sharp, who else? 007, Charlie Brown, Drama Seidel, 187, Double T 1614, Brian Shaw. He says B More Steelers in the house. Okay, I know a couple folks from Baltimore who are diehard Steelers fans. Shout outs to the homie Mark Rollins. Mark, if you see this, man, I know we haven't, spoken in person in a long time. We both know why, but I've talked to you here and there on Twitter. So shout outs to my good brother Mark Rollins, who's also a super diehard Steelers fan, lives in the heart of Baltimore, born and raised in Baltimore. So shout outs to him. Use a stick. The real Missy. Hello, Miss Missy. That sounds kind of tongue twisting there, but hello, Miss Missy. How you doing this evening? Thank you for coming through. All right, I think that's all. I see Keith is in the building. Ollie Howard, Michael Van Leer, and we'll leave it right there, man, because I'd be here all night reading names, right? All right, let's get to it, man. Y'all know how we do. I'm gonna read you my good, trustworthy notes, comment on a few things, and then we shall get to the elephant in the room. So first and foremost, I'm going to talk about, somewhat of the defensive opening there. I will also talk about a few concerns that I see early from the Pittsburgh Steelers, and you guys see who is there in the thumbnail. So there's going to be some focus around Kendrick Green. And again, this is early. This is not us jumping out of the window. It's preseason. I already saw people on Twitter being way too up or being way too down. And guys, it's preseason. And technically it's week 1 of preseason, right? Last week was a bonus. And the full starting 11s is not on either side. And yes, you can judge guys individually. Like I said last week, you judge them for the talent that they possess or technique, things like that. But trying to dissect how good the pass defense is or how good the pass rush is or run defense or offense. Come on, man. Come on. We can't really do that at this moment. Maybe we'll get a better glimpse next week, which is, quote unquote, the third preseason. Well, not really. It's the week 3 version, I guess, of what would have been last year, because, they're not playing that final game per se. So technically there's only 3 preseason games. We played 4 because of the Hall of Fame game. So I guess next week is the tune-up. I don't know. And maybe because, who knows? Maybe the tune-up game doesn't even happen anymore. I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, I'm going way off the rail there. We'll talk about a few things here. So let's jump right into it. First thing I noticed, man. Let me backtrack a little bit. Saw some clips on Twitter where Najee Harris was being matched up with Devin Bush. And of course, the drill that they were doing favors the offense more so. And then, of course, in most cases, you're not necessarily going to see your middle linebacker in that type of situation where he's, lined up one-on-one on the outside. Yeah. Could they get matched up like that and have to run down the field? Absolutely. Think about wheel routes. Think about tight ends down the seam. So it's a good drill. But I know some people were making too much of the fact that Devin Bush, lost the rep with Najee Harris, and Najee Harris had the beautiful catch over his shoulder, right? Now, in game tonight against Goddard, Devin Bush gives up a 34-yard gain. Now, to me, some people are going to say, they're going to jump out of the window and say, oh, he can't cover, yada, yada, yada. No. To me, it's exactly what we knew about Devin Bush for the most part and what we even saw in his rookie year. Stature, okay? Devin Bush is fast. Devin Bush is quick. Devin Bush can diagnose things, it seems. He's good at tackling. He's a good sideline-to-sideline guy. But we also saw in his rookie year where he can be exposed a little bit, right? Because his stature going up against a tight end. That happened tonight. Is it a good thing to see? No. Would you like to see Devin Bush a little closer in some situations? Yes. But I say all that to say this. It didn't surprise me to see that happen. Hopefully he can work on his coverage. But we've seen that from Devin Bush before, right? So I'm not going to overreact. Again, if you pay attention, had you watched Devin Bush in his rookie season, we've seen this. Is it good? Am I happy about it? No. I hope we can figure out something and hopefully. And Devin Bush did start to improve throughout the rookie season. He was playing relatively decent before he got hurt last season. But again, we've seen that show before. So something to point out. Like I said, I'm not going to, throw him out the window right now, but it's just something to point out. So if it continues to happen, we can circle back to what we saw tonight and say, oh, well, that's still a problem. Let's see, what else do I have here? I saw Jordan Howard stuff Robert Spillane on a blitz. I mean, cleaned his clock. Good job by Jordan Howard. He gets paid too. But like I said, Robert Spillane got stood up, so as much as we, and I included, praised him for how he stood his ground and stood up Derrick Henry on the goal line, he got his he got his bell rocked, got his clock cleaned tonight on a blitz by Jordan Howard. So I definitely noticed that. Let's see. Talking about the first offensive drive, just roughly, saw Chooks kind of miss a little bit of a block on the toss play. Najee was still able to pick up his yards, picked up about 5 or 6 yards. But, maybe that's a tough task or a tough thing to ask for a guy like Chooks. But, again, it's something that you point out. And I just simply put here, Najee Harris looks like a grown man. I mean, Najee Harris to me, again, I really don't care what the opinions are of him right now. I mean, I'm sure some people are overreacting in both directions. I'm just going off of the eye test. That dude looks the part. He looks the part. I could already tell there's going to be more positive gains with Najee Harris than there will be negative. He looks the part. For the little bit of time that he was in there tonight, he looked the part. I mean, I don't really have anything bad to say, right? Now, I will say this, and shout outs to my brother Tony if he's watching. Yeah, he's doing that Le'Veon Bell thing of hurdling. Remember, Le'Veon Bell did the same thing when he came in the league. Maybe that'll change. But Najee has been doing this since high school. He did it all in Alabama. So it's like, I get it. I wish he would keep his feet on the ground, but at the same time, I'm not going to tell him to not play the way he plays, because things like that, to me, that's instinct for him. So I'm not going to tell him not to be himself. You understand what I'm saying? But yes, I would rather him keep his foot on the ground in some situations where it just seems like you're not going to get out of that. Maybe if it's a one-on-one situation, But yeah, you would hate to see him get caught up in the air, what have you. But like I said, man, we've seen this story before, right? We've seen this. Le'Veon Bell was doing the same thing in his rookie season. Remember how Tomlin talked about it and everything? He was like, hey, when I was that age, it was nice to be able to do those things at 21, 22. It's a repeat of that. So it is what it is. But yeah, like I said, Najee looked like a grown man out there, man, for the little bit of reps that he got. The move. Pat Fryermuth got called for a holding or a block in the back. I can't remember exactly what the call was. I know it was a 10-yard penalty, but he got called, I think, for holding. So you got to point that out. Javon Hargrave completely blew up Coward on one of those plays. I don't know if you guys saw that or not, but Coward got blown up by Javon Hargrave early in that game. That was on the first drive. And then also, I will say the offensive line showed good protection, man, on that 3rd and 11, even though we didn't convert it. I think they showed good protection. They dropped back into a zone as far as the defense. Rudolph didn't really have anywhere to go with it. But, I thought, after seeing some leaks, that particular rep, they looked good. They held their own on 3rd and 11. All right, so now I'm just going to give you some random notes that I took throughout the night. And like I said, maybe I missed some things. You all know before Tuesday comes, I'm going to go back and watch the game again. There was a holding call on Trey Turner, so we got to notate that. There was a nice throw from Rudolph to Deontay Johnson down the right sideline. Watkins for the Eagles. Wow. What a display of speed. And the reason why I'm pointing that out in my notes is because he completely blew past Trey Norwood. Now, I don't know if Trey Norwood is a speed guy or anything like that, but my goodness. I mean, can I say he took a bad angle? I don't know. It's crazy. He completely just flat out outran Trey Norwood and, for that big touchdown that the Eagles got. So again, I'm going to have to go back and look at the game to see if, did Norwood pursue that, wrong, or did he just, he just flat out got beat with speed. And sometimes it ain't nothing you can do. Will we judge somebody against Tyreek Hill in a straight line? No. So again, I'm not going to really hold that against Trey Norwood, but man, against Trey Norwood, that kid Watkins really showed what speed looked like. So, yeah, I just pointed that out. Kendrick Green gets blown up on a 3rd and 7, and that was following a false start by Chooks. And there's 2 penalties already on Chooks. And I will say this about Okorafor. He didn't look that great to me tonight, guys, in his reps. 2 penalties, and there was a couple more situations where I thought, he was getting pushed around a little bit. Again, TBD, as far as my complete thoughts, I need to go back and watch the game, but just didn't like what I was seeing, at first glance out of Chooks. Let's see. Here's another notation I have here. Jameer Jones gets a sack on a 3rd and 5. Dwayne Haskins puts a nice drive together to end the first half. 9 plays, 70 yards, and it was a nice throw to Kobe White. McFarland was able to cap off the drive with a touchdown after the pass interference that was called on Rico. And second half, Haskins finds Johnson in the back of the end zone for a touchdown. He took advantage of the offsides. He was alert and was aware, did what he had to do there. But what I like the most about what Haskins did on that play is, he clearly is keeping his eyes downfield when he scrambles. So, whether you want to call it because it was a blown play, offsides, and maybe defense slowed down, I don't know. Again, I'm judging the player on what they did, not so much who they did it against. And I'm going to talk about both quarterbacks as well in a minute. Don't have as many notes here for the second half, so I'll just wrap these up and then I'll get into my quarterback stuff, talk about a couple more things, and then we'll get into the chat, but, we're going to address that elephant in the room as well. Justin Lane was able to get a pick, and pressure was applied by you-know-who. Who applied that pressure? Jameer Jones, once again. He's stacking good games together. It's going to make it very interesting. He's going to make it very interesting in terms of the Steelers putting together that roster. as far as outside linebacker. He's making it interesting. So shout outs to him, man. Let's see what else I got here. Do I have a note on the computer? Nope. I think I got everything here in the phone. What else I got here? Steelers put together another long drive. That it was led by Dwayne Haskins once again, but they put together another long drive, in that third quarter as well. I did notate here that Gentry dropped the pass by Haskins, even though the ball was a little bit behind him. I think, you have to make that catch. And speaking of Gentry, let me sidebar really quick. I had no idea until I watched the Standard is the Standard video that was posted by the Steelers. I didn't know this dude was 280. Let me say this again. Zach Gentry is 6'8", 280 pounds. Remember last week when I said, come on, you're a big boy, you got to make that catch. Remember it was a contested catch. Dwayne Haskins tried to throw it to him. It was a third down. He drops it. It was good defense, by the Cowboys. But I thought it was a comeback catch. And I was like, man, look, you too big to lose that. And at the time I said, well, I don't know how big he is because I'm remembering him as just being a tall guy. Bruh, I had not been paying a lot of attention to him. 280? 6'8", 280? Oh, guess what, Zach Gentry? I'm on your butt now. I'm on you now. You need to be physical, bruh. I've been paying attention. You look a little better blocking, but, I have more expectations for you if you are to be the number 3 or make the squad as the tight end, because let's not forget Kevin Rader is on your heels. But bruh, my expectations for this kid Gentry, slightly different now. You a big boy. I need you to be physical out there. Round of applause to Shadow Slayer, man. Let's throw the applause out there. Hold on, let me make sure it is connected. I want to make sure you hear it. 1 second. Make sure you hear it. Here it is. Round of applause. Appreciate the donation. And I will definitely get to your comment. And actually, I'm not going to read your comment because that's the elephant in the room. You guys be jumping the gun. But thank you. Thank you for the donation. But yes, I am going to read that. I am going to basically talk about that. That's the elephant. That is the elephant in the room. I will get to that. Thank you for the donation. All right. So again, Zach Gentry, listen, brother. I need you to be physical out there with that type of body, bro. That's all I'm saying. Now you're on my radar, as well as Kevin Radar. All right, next I have here Loudermilk gets a nice sack in the game. He also got a batted ball in the fourth quarter, so, his name was popping up. Loudermilk was doing a couple things, man, a couple pressures and things like that, so good to see that as well, because, again, let's not forget the Steelers traded to get him later in the draft. So clearly they have their eyes on him. They like his potential. So again, it's always good to see guys that you might be interested in actually do some things. So let's continue to watch that. And then, of course, Dobbs throws an interception. And I don't mean that in a negative way when I say of course. It's just I say that because he played well last week, right? And, he took the hit in his face as the pressure came, threw the nice timing route to Simmons, I believe it was, for the touchdown. And then here in this game, makes a horrible decision and throws an interception. That's life, right? But then right after that, Lafayette Pitts, newly acquired, gets an interception on the very next drive to get the ball back for the Steelers. And that's really all I have as far as notations. There wasn't a whole lot more to notate after that. So that's all I have for now. But let me talk about a couple things really quick. Quarterback play. Mason Rudolph played well. Dwayne Haskins played well. That's all I got. That's all I got. They played well. Dwayne Haskins had one questionable pass. He was trying to find McCoy, I think, and, it almost got intercepted. Like I said, ball slightly behind Zach Gentry. but it's a catchable ball, and coverage was there, so maybe his intention was to throw it away from coverage. I don't know. But all in all, Dwayne Haskins played well, and Mason Rudolph played well. Okay? And, one pass that comes to mind from Haskins was that one that he zipped. I think it was to Rico Bussey. He kind of, it was like a slot. It wasn't a slot fade, but it was kind of like I guess kind of. But he zipped it in there really quick. So yeah, I guess it wasn't a fade, but, he kind of ran like a seam route, if you will. And he zipped it in there and got it to him. So, listen, man, like I said, Dwayne Haskins, what I'm looking for him is poise, number one. How he handled himself under pressure, number two. Pocket presence would be number three. And then, of course, and this is no particular order, but the fourth thing would be accuracy. I'm looking to see, is he a better looking quarterback than the way he looked in Washington? That's what I'm looking for. Right now, he's put some decent games together. I will say this. Clearly a different game when he's in there, right? Clearly. So that's why I cannot wait to see a veteran Ben Roethlisberger behind center, because I want to see how Matt Canada calls these plays. If you are paying attention, Steeler Nation, the game is being called different when Haskins is out there in terms of the type of passes. They're all quick pass. Spread them out, right? Boom. Find the matchup. We heard all preseason so far, with all training camp. Canada is big on matchups, right? A lot of quick throws. Now, is that just playing to Haskins' ability, or you know what I'm saying? A little different from when Mason Rudolph is out there. A little different. So I'm very interested in seeing what it looks like when Ben Roethlisberger is out there. Because, again, and Mason Rudolph did it tonight, Rudolph is taking more shots down the field. And I don't necessarily think it's all the quarterback, even though there were a couple times I thought Haskins could have taken a shot deep. Could be a little mentality there. But as fast as the ball is coming out, a lot of those routes are being called for Haskins to make those throws. So I think that is interesting, man, and it's something that you guys should really pay attention to with Matt Canada, because if he's already constructing it that way, God forbid, if Ben Roethlisberger goes down for a game or two or at any point throughout the season, there's already a plan in place for the guy behind him. It won't be a lot of shuffling like what we had to end up trying to do when Ben went down, and we had Duck Hodges and Mason Rudolph. It looks like Canada already has two different ways of calling the offense depending on who's out there. But like I said, I think both Mason Rudolph and Dwayne Haskins both played well tonight. I really don't have any negatives, because I'm not one of those guys that dissects every throw and all of that. Quarterbacks make bad throws. Quarterbacks make good throws. Quarterbacks make bad decisions. Quarterbacks make good decisions. It's all about the frequency of how often negatives happen. Because even Ben Roethlisberger makes bad decisions, right? So I am not one of those micro type of critics or fans that, look at that. No. Look at the totality. And when you look at the totality of both Rudolph and Haskins, they played well tonight. Here's another thing about the offense. We running the football, bro. It ain't no secret. We knew about that when we drafted Najee Harris, and now we're seeing it. We're running the football. We're run heavy again. Remember, I want to see how this changes, or if it does change when Roethlisberger comes back. But we're clearly focusing on running the football and power running. We running that thing quite often. And I'm gonna be honest. Overall, the run game looked good tonight. Even when some of the backup guys came in later in the game. Y'all know how I feel about Tony Brooks-James. I like him. You remember when he was on that team and I was like, look, I want to see this dude get more opportunity. Y'all remember that? I like him. I like his vision. Like, that dude is shifty with vision. He makes quick decisions and he can make you miss, and he's shifty. I like him. I don't know where I put him in terms of the depth chart, but I'm saying if there's a way to keep that dude on the roster, I like what he brings to the table, man. Anthony McFarland had a couple decent runs tonight. I still want to see him get loose because I don't feel like I've seen him get loose yet, but it was that one run off to the right side where he was in there, quick, decisive, gone. But we'll see. I still think McFarland in the NFL might still be a work in progress. So let's keep a close eye on that. But listen, man, even that Guerrero guy, he doesn't have a chance to make the team, but he ran well. He showed some quickness. Najee ran well as far as the opportunity that he got it. And honestly, offensive line played better like later on. You know what I mean? So early on, and the guys who were the starting five didn't play as well. So it would have been interesting to see Najee play behind, the combination when we had at one time. There was B.J. Finney was out there. I think Hassenauer was out there. Kevin Dotson. And somebody else. I notated it somewhere. Might be those three. It might be those three that I'm thinking about. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it, guys, in my notes. Oh, Dan Moore, who also played really good, man. Again, this is first watch. This is first watch. And y'all know here on this show, I'm honest with you guys about that. This is first watch. I have to go back and watch the game a time or two again to really hone in on players. But first glance, offensive line-wise, Dan Moore played well. Kevin Dotson played well. Hassenauer played well. B.J. Finney was perking up a couple times, but Hassenauer probably was jumping off a little more to me than B.J. Finney. But those three guys played well. Now let's get to the thumbnail, and then we'll get to the elephant in the room. We're going to save that for last. Best for last. Oh, Kendrick Green got worked a little bit tonight. Not entirely, but he got worked on one particular play where he got blown up. Oof. Blown up, pushed all the way back to the quarterback. And it's funny, man, because this is one of the concerns that some of us had. We like his tenacity. We like his grit. We like his skill. We like his agility. Showed some more of that tonight. But with him being slightly undersized, it is going to be the minor concern that I have, and it's actually under my concerns, early concerns that we need to pay attention to. One of them is Kendrick Green's size and strength. What happens when a guy decides to bull rush him, And we saw it tonight. And again, it doesn't mean that he's going to lose this all the time. I know. I guarantee you, some people watching tonight, probably some right here in this chat, soon as y'all saw that, y'all said he sucks. Oh, let's get rid of him. Oh, it's one play. Even great players lose battles from time to time. Remember, the team you're playing are professionals too. But let's keep an eye on that because, again, that was one of the question marks with him being undersized. So let's keep an eye on that and see if he can, perhaps anchor a little better, work more against the bull rush and see how he progresses. And again, he's still a rookie. That might not have necessarily been a strength thing. Could have been a technique thing. Who knows? But we have to talk about it, right? We have to talk about it so, again, we can come back and remember the kind of the things that were little question marks and see if those things improve or not. Another minor concern that I have as well, I don't know if you guys are paying attention to this, but I paid attention last week, and this could be only because right now it's early and we're just being very vanilla, but it still is a blitzing a lot, and a lot of these times, we're getting or giving up first downs against the blitz. A lot of times so far I've seen us get beat while blitzing, and I hope this is not going to be a trend. Again, I saw it in the Hall of Fame game, and you saw it at sometimes tonight. when we decided to blitz, and we blitzed quite often, we were getting beat at times, and, a little more regular than I would like. So my only concern would be, is that going to be an approach this year where the Steelers are blitzing, and I hope not. Because you don't want that to be a routine, because, again, you get to a point where people know you're going to blitz and they game plan off of that. So we'll see. It's early. I'm not overreacting. But, again, guys, pay attention to some of these trends and see how they translate or how they might show up later on. And then the last little minor one is Justin Lane is a little grabby. He's grabby. He is. We saw it last week. He got penalized. We saw it tonight. Should have been penalized. Not only is he grabby, he also keeps his eyes off the ball. So, when he's in these situations and these one-on-ones, he's facing the receiver. Like, he's just looking here and not even turning to look for the ball, and he's grabby. So you can't be grabby and not look for the ball, because 9 times out of 10, a flag is coming. And the only reason why it's a little concern is because if Justin Lane makes the team, Justin Lane is going to play. Remember, we don't have a bunch of corners. We have Joe Hayden, Cam Sutton, who actually gave up, a pass tonight while he was guarding Rager. Shout outs to Rager. Think he's going to be a good receiver with his shiftiness. But, he gave up one tonight. And again, I'm not ready to throw the man in the trash because of that. And round of applause to Miss Odessa. Thank you for coming through tonight. We appreciate that. Round of applause for the donation. Number one fan. Oh, I really appreciate that, man. Really appreciate you, Odessa, and all of you. So thank you. But like I said, pay attention to it, man, because the cornerback position to me is still up for grabs when you talk about 3rd, 4th, 5th. It's up for grabs. Joe Hayden, Cam Sutton, and then who the nickel is going to be, which we're expecting it to be, Antoine Brooks Jr. or Marlette. I'm tending to lean more towards Brooks Jr., but we'll see. Hopefully he gets back on the field next week, right? You got Pierre, which Pierre is, even if he doesn't play in the nickel situation, I still would consider him the 3rd, because he's probably the better corner, whether he's playing or not. You know what I'm saying? He's going to play in dime and stuff like that. But then who's the 5th? Who's the 4th? Who's the 4th? Who's the 5th? Because, again, you would expect the 4 is probably going to be, let me give you the real order. Not talking about position. The 4, I'm sure, at least the 3 will be Sutton, Hayden, Pierre. After that, is up for grabs. You would expect Brooks Jr. is going to fall in that as a nickel if he continues, if he can put on another showing or continue to play well in practice. So there's 4, but we don't know who the 5th corner is. You're going to keep at least 5. Sometimes we keep 6. I don't know who these guys are. I don't know. Justin Lane is probably one of those guys, and that's why it's concerning the way he's playing. So minor concern there, man, but I felt like I had to get that out. But other than that, man, I think that's all I have in terms of my notes. Let me get into the chat really quick before let's address the elephant in the room. Well, no. Let's throw some chats at me, guys. I want to hear what some of you guys, how you guys feel about tonight. And then we're going to talk about this trade that we're hearing about. I promise you. But let me see what some of you guys are saying about the game, and then we'll get to it. Michael Van Leer says, speak them facts, Kenyon, about Fletcher Cox. What Kenyon say? What did Kenyon say about Fletcher Cox? Okay, Fletcher Cox is used to bull rush and pump. Yep, he sure did. I ain't even got to read the rest of that. Y'all, you see what I mean, guys? You see, this is why guys like myself and Kenyon and Tony and a lot of you guys in the chat who analyze things a little differently, we know that. We definitely know that. Fletcher Cox used to, for whatever reason, man, he was a kryptonite. to David DeCastro. And sometimes that's just how it is. It doesn't mean, are we going to say David DeCastro wasn't good? So that's what I'm saying. I'm not throwing, even though it's a different position, I'm not throwing Kendrick Green out of the window yet or throwing him out with the bathwater. No. But, let's just acknowledge what we saw. That's all. What else y'all got? Pierre solid again, says Lee Sharp. Yep, I can agree with that. Sutton is slow now. Yeah, he is looking a little. I noticed that last week too. I don't know if it's slow or it's just something's different, but Sutton is not looking as sharp in terms of his quickness, if that makes sense. Let's keep an eye on that. Justin Lane be high out there. Why y'all mess with that, man? Dang. Justin Lane needs Adderall. Y'all are tough, man. Y'all are a tough crowd out here, boy. Jordan Mid says, I find it funny after one play now, Sutton is trapped. Right. Me too, Jordan. Me too. Come on, man. What I tell you, most, I'm going to go as far as saying most people who watch football, it's a bunch of us that really know what we're watching. But the majority of people that are fans of a team, they just, like I said, they're highlight watchers. Meaning, you only judge players by a play or two. You see somebody make a big catch. Oh, he's a great receiver. You see a guy get a big run. Oh, he's the best running back in the world. You see a guy get burnt. Oh, he's trash. Unfortunately, it happens. Shout outs to Victor Asher, man. Round of applause for the donation. Let's read it. He says, a Bledsoe Brady situation on our hands with Haskins. The offense cranked it up a notch. His throwing motion looks like Mike Vick. Ben better not go down. He said he may not even have a chance to get back up. Nah. I understand what you're saying, but it ain't that. It ain't that just yet. I don't think Dwayne Haskins has done enough at this moment to be able to keep a Ben Roethlisberger out of the lineup as far as the starting lineup. So, but I respect what you're saying, though, wholeheartedly. Dwayne Haskins, listen, man, and again, they play a different style of game when he's out there. And like you said, 2 long, sustainable drives. The game plan was quick, sharp throws, run the football. Quick, sharp throws, run the football. Take a little shot, a little medium shot when it's there. I ain't mad at that type of offense. Like I said, I don't need my quarterback to throw 300-400 every time. I'm cool with a guy that can manage the game, take shots when he needs to, matriculate the ball down the field. I'm cool with that. So, 2 totally different styles. Real Fact says, y'all putting too much expectations on the corners. They young dudes. True. But, we have to acknowledge it. Sean McGuire says, I think Sutton will be the inside guy and Pierre will be outside in 3-3-5 and 2-2-5 formations. And we definitely might see that. So right now, Antoine Brooks and Arthur Marlette, they're definitely put on notice because let's just assume that, let's say Cam Sutton isn't looking as comfortable as we want him to look on the outside. Then we have an option. We have an option to move him inside and let James Pierre play outside. So that's that. What else y'all got? Jason Winningham says waiting. I'm not sure what you're waiting on. Let me address what it could be. If you're waiting for the season to see how these guys really play, I'm there with you. I know that you call a lot as well, Mr. Winningham, so I just want to make sure that you're not talking about that. Phone call and the queue is not open tonight, but I just want to make sure I answer your question either way. Shout outs to Eric McDuffie. We got another donation. Let's read the comment. He says, I totally expected Green to get schooled by Cox. Yeah, man. And listen, come on, man. That's all I'm saying. Let's see. What else y'all got? I'll read 1 or 2 more about the game, and then we're going to get to this elephant in the room. Bynor Johnson says, you guys are planning out the future too quickly. Y'all calling Dwayne Haskins. Okay. I'm going to read the comment, but I want to try to find something about the game, too. He said, y'all calling him a Hall of Famer and talking about trading Mason after 2 preseason games, which he both played solid in. Yeah, man, I told you, Bynor. I told you. A lot of people are highlight watchers, man. They don't look at if I can borrow a word that my man Dave Bryant says a lot on Steelers Depot. They don't look at the minutia. Sippy Boy says, I knew we were going to grab another linebacker. I just didn't think it would be one with this kind of contract, but I'm happy. Let's talk about it. It's time. It's time. Let me take a sip of water. It is time to talk about the elephant in the room. Holy moly. Reportedly, Jacksonville Jaguars have reached an agreement to trade the Pittsburgh Steelers' Joe Schobert. Linebacker Joe Schobert. Now, if you guys don't know who that is, you should. Let's do a pop quiz. Why should the Pittsburgh Steelers know Joe Schobert? And real quick, let me read the comment of my man Alex Jr., who is actually might be my one and only member to the channel. And Alex, we're going to start ramping up some content again. Right now, I'm putting up these shows. Might take a day or so, but I'm putting these shows up where you can watch them if you want to replay. Will not have any ads. Also, I will be doing some custom content. This actually might be the way that I have to bring the film sessions, as well as if you're into gaming. I'll be doing, this season, I'll be doing some streams that are off the cuff, playing some games that you guys normally don't see me play. So definitely try to offer some custom content for you guys who become members of the channel. But let me read your comment. He says, I got to bounce out, Sim. Thanks for what you do, my guy. Love your eyes, my guy. You see things I don't. Yes, I'm a highlight watcher. Sure hints why I'm here. Laugh out loud, be easy. And listen, let me tell you something, Alex. Don't be ashamed of that, man. Listen, do not be ashamed. There's nothing wrong with that. Everybody doesn't watch and deep dive the football game, and not everybody knows all of these different moving parts. There's nothing wrong with that at all. So even when I say that, you can kind of take it as tongue in cheek. I'm not knocking anybody. There's many sports that I'm a highlight watcher. I watch soccer. I don't have no idea what's really going on. Hockey too. Nothing wrong with that. You can be a fan. You know what I mean? But all right, let me see what you guys know. Okay. There y'all going proud. I'm very proud of us, man. A lot of you guys are saying because of the Browns. Absolutely correct. That is why we should know this guy. Okay? Let me tell you what he did last year. And this was going to trip y'all out. He finished 5th overall in total tackles with 140. That's impressive. Do y'all know who was the number 1 tackler last year? This can't be correct. But according to NFL Network, Avery Williamson led the league in tackles with 170. Wow. But anyway, this is a surprise, man. Why is it a surprise? 2 reasons. We were just talking on Tuesday. I was just talking about the linebacker group, me and Kenya. And I was saying, you know what? I think, for this time, I think if the Steelers keep 9 linebackers, they normally do. They usually don't do 10. But if they keep 9, usually one group gets 5, one gets 4. I said, I think this year, if they only go 9, I kind of feel like they might stretch that extra spot for the outside group because guys like Jameer Jones, here he is with another game, making it tough, right? It's making it tough to only keep 4. Even though we hear Cassius Marsh is playing well as well, I didn't watch him as much tonight. I'll see if I can recognize him when I rewatched the game, but I was more so paying attention to Jameer. I felt like there's going to be a competition to keep that 5th spot. And Roche being a draft pick, it might make it tough to practice squad a guy like that or Jameer Jones, right? They making a case. And I said that the inside linebacker group, I think, has the potential to only be 4. You know, if you go with Devin Bush, Spillane, after that, UG3, Buddy Johnson, who I think will stick around, Marcus Allen, and I was saying there's a couple of guys in there that, maybe UG3 could, he might be expendable, right? Marcus Allen, maybe, but Marcus Allen does a couple more things, special teams and such. So seeing that we have traded, listen to those words. The Steelers have traded for Joe Schobert. Or is it Show or Shoe? I don't know. And this is a guy that's a Pro Bowler. This is a starter, which means Robert Spillane, yeah, buddy, you might want to be looking over your shoulder. I'm just saying, no disrespect to Spillane, but you're not trading for a guy like that to sit down. Let's do the business side of things really quick. Here's the second part of why this is shocking. They say he's guaranteed $7 million this year. 7. You think he's sitting on the bench? Let me explain to you a couple other, well, not a couple, but you could say couple if you put them together. Here's 2 things that the Steelers did that surprised us a little bit. They shored up their pass rush by getting Melvin Ingram. We thought they were done in that area. Okay, you got a nice, solid 3-man rotation. 4th guy, maybe a 5th guy is a bonus. Now you turn around and invest some real money in the inside linebacker position. Kevin Colbert ain't playing out here. And that guy's not sitting the bench. It's no way, no how. He will be the starter, more than likely alongside Devin Bush. So now the question is, how do you feel about your depth? Now it's tougher. Now if you UG3, you got to be like biting your nails down through the white meat. You got to be a little nervous. You're a little nervous Purvis right now. Robert Spillane. You might want to be nervous too. Ain't no guarantee that you don't get cut. Because let me tell you something. Somebody out of that group is gone. I don't know who it is. If you want to look at the depth chart, most people would say, oh, well, Robert Spillane will become the 3, and then now you're looking at who's going to be the 4th and 5th. What if they only keep 4? Now that 3rd spot the 4th spot is really tricky. So we gonna see. Bruh. But I really do believe that Joe Schobert will be the starter alongside Devin Bush. It's just that simple. But like I said, and then I'll get in the chat and then we'll get up out of here. Very surprising. I'm not mad at it, but let's remember this as well. TJ Watt is not practicing because TJ Watt is waiting on a contract extension. How does this factor into that? And I'm going to let you guys know I'm going to do it tonight. I will be sending my listener email to Steelers Depot because I respect what those guys do. Dave Bryant breaks down that cap. One of the best out there. I will be sending my question. Hopefully they'll read it tomorrow on the show. So go listen to that. I want to know how this affects not only the cap that we currently have, and I'm sure if I know Steelers Depot the way I do, there's probably already an estimate out there on Steelers Depot saying, according to the numbers, this is roundabout what we think it is. Not only do I want to know that, but I want to know what effect does that have now on a TJ Watt extension that most of us are expecting is in the works right now, which is the reason why he's not practicing. Interesting. Not saying he's not going to get paid. I'm just saying, what are the Steelers doing with this money? You know what I'm saying? You know, is there somebody else on the roster that they might have to move because of it? You see what I'm saying? It's a lot to think about here. So that's why I say it was a surprise. It is a surprise that I welcome. Come on, surprise. Come on in. I open the door for you, make the bed for you. Here, lay right there. Come on in, surprise. I welcome this surprise. We just got better. 140 man, tackler. Schobert doesn't do half bad in pass coverage. We just got better. I welcome that surprise with open arms. Come on in. All right, man, let's see what you guys think. Let me hear it. Enigma 80 says he is the best cover linebacker minus Schobert. Who? Talking about who you talking about? Spillane or Bush? So I'm gonna just say he right now, and you let me know who you're referring to. You said let's start again. He says he is the best linebacker minus Schobert, coverage linebacker minus Schobert. He's fast, he's physical, but he needs to finish better tackling. Spillane can't get there. Okay, so you are talking about Spillane. Got you. Gary Williamson says, and Joe Hayden wants an extension. Listen, man, Joe Hayden, no disrespect, but like Tamar Braxton used to say, sir, have several seats. Have several seats, Joe Hayden. Take a seat, man. Listen, I love what you've done for the Steelers. I love the fact that you bought into the culture and that you want to retire a Steeler and all of that. But Joe, come on, man. You're 32, right? You're talking about if we give you an extension, you're talking about actually playing at 34. Listen, that ain't old for the world. Being in your 30s is definitely not old. But to be an NFL cornerback, no thank you. I can't do it. Like I said, Joe Hayden has played well, but Joe Hayden is already, he's starting to decline a little bit. And rightfully so, all due respect. Steeler Card says Steelers will find a way to fit TJ's contract under the cap. Yeah, it ain't the contract with TJ that I'm worried about. I'm just trying to figure out, bruh, how you doing this? And you listen. My man has a guarantee of $7 million he got to make this year, so something's gonna have to happen. We'll see. Minka extension and Juju, yes, and let's remember next year we'll be okay because the cap goes up. We're gonna be fine, but I don't want to keep seeing. I don't want to see these voidable years and all of that with some of these guys. So we'll see if they make it work, man. Great. Adrian Hoagland says, hey, Sim, I know I ask you this from time to time, but would you ever be interested in releasing these podcasts, in a podcast form? Would love to listen to them while at work. Thanks a lot. Schobert is a beast, by the way. Yes, and Adrian, I take the blame for that I've kind of forgotten to do that because it's really just as simple as me taking the audio and uploading it to podcast platforms. I'll ask you guys, where would you prefer to hear them as a podcast? Like on Apple, Spotify, or any of these places? And honestly, I don't know what the details are there as far as if I have to pay to do that. But yeah, I mean I used to do that before. I used to just take the audio when I had another show that I was doing, not this show, but I would basically grab the audio from the video and just upload it to Apple in podcast format. But honestly, I don't know if that's still that easy nowadays because people are getting paid So I don't know if you could just simply be a guy and just jump on there for free. I don't know. I'd have to research it. But yeah, that's definitely an option, man. You know, whatever makes it easy for you guys to get the content, it's all that matters. Let's see. The Real Deal says, why is taking so long to pay TJ? Steelers just don't want to make him the highest paid edge rusher. He deserves to be the highest paid edge rusher. I'm going to disagree with that a little bit in terms of one statement. I don't think the Steelers have taken their time, and I don't think the Steelers are trying to not make him the highest paid. But there's a business side to it. Remember, there's ways that you have to structure contracts so, A, they fit under the cap. B, it's a favorable situation for both the player and the organization. That's it. It ain't just that simple. Just, we're going to make you the highest paid. No, man, y'all know how the Steelers do. The Steelers traditionally haven't been a team that gives you a boatload of money up front, or guarantee, rather. They usually try to do signing bonus, right? And the way they structure the deal. So that's all it's about. And of course, I do think this time they're going to have to go a little outside of the norm with TJ Watt, which I'm sure they will, because again, cap situation gets a lot better next year. We're projected to be one of the teams with the highest cap. You expected no Ben Roethlisberger, so things will change. So all of that conversation right now, I'm sure, is centered around guaranteed money, signing bonus, and the structure of the deal. Just that simple. Let's see. Dietrich Bundick says, these young corners are making a push to make the team. I would like to see Hayden on the coaching staff at some point. He's a very smart corner. Yeah, that would be great, man. You know, it's always cool to have guys who've played in a position come back and be on the coaching staff, so I wouldn't mind that at all either. Banoy Johnson said, again, this isn't Madden franchise. Yeah, I think you talk about the contracts. Yeah. He said there's more to extending the play. Yeah, man, come on, man. Let's see what else we got here. Thunder God says, Sim, I posted on Facebook the Schobert signing just sealed Spillane's fate because he haven't looked good. Yeah, Spillane hasn't looked that good, honestly, in these 2 preseason games. I will say that. I think Spillane played relatively well for us last season. He played solid and decent. But I will say these last 2 preseason games have not been his best showings, if that's fair. Sean McGuire says, I'm betting it's some guaranteed money, thinking that they're being worked out. Yeah, that's all it is. Yeah, Kenya, you have no choice but to pay TJ. Come on, man. Y'all know what's going to happen. The Master of Music says, TJ is going to get paid. TJ is a visitor from another planet. Just a beast. Don't want to see him in another jersey. TJ ain't going nowhere. It ain't. Don't worry about that, folks. Don't worry about that. Listen, worst case scenario, they don't get an extension done this year, and they tag him. Right? That's the worst case scenario. Also, the next case scenario is you wait until next year to sign him to a big contract. It doesn't have to happen this year. It's just normally the Steelers usually do that. It don't have to happen. He's going to play for us this season. And then even if you wait until next year, guess what? You can't come to an agreement, you tag him. I mean, we ain't losing TJ Watt. So be cool, man. Be cool. Let's see. What else y'all got? A couple more. Yeah, I think so too, Sean. I don't think they tag him, but I'm just saying, worst case scenario, man, for anybody who's concerned that we're not going to lose TJ Watt. Wait, somebody said don't pay TJ Watt? Wait, is Enigma saying not to pay TJ Watt? Hold on. Sim, they 5th-yeared him, then tagged him twice. Yeah, he's on his he's playing on his What is he on right now? TJ is on his. TJ is going in. Y'all help me out. Is he going into his fourth? Because I know they put the 5th year on him, right? Or is he? Is this going to be his 5th? I'm trying to remember because I think this is the 5th year option year he's in. Yeah, this is year 5. Right. Because I remember last year I was saying that that's how they were going to wait. You know, they could 5th year option him and wait to do his deal later because of Ben coming back, yada, yada, yada. So, yeah, he's in his 5th year. Oh, wait. Somebody said he's in his 4th? No, this is his 5th. I'm pretty sure. Wait, I don't know. Yo, somebody give me some facts. Some of y'all are saying 5th, some are saying 4th. I cannot remember. Somebody please look that up. Smitty says 5th as well. Okay, so if he's in his 5th year, either way, we know he's with us this season. So worst case scenario, like I said, this is complete worst case. They don't get a deal done. They would tag him next year. That's it. Yeah, that's what I thought. This is his 5th. So all right, yeah, man. Don't worry, guys. You know, again, y'all know I like to quote movie lines, and I'm gonna say an old school one. And I don't know if somebody catches it, you my man. But be cool, man. The car is parked. Be cool. Be cool. No need to panic right now. All right, a couple more, and then we out of here for real. And an Enigma. If you're talking about trading TJ Watt, salutes to you, buddy. We just on 2 different sides of the spectrum. Shout outs to Luis D, man. Round of applause for the donation. Luis says, hey, Sim, I saw on a podcast about Joe wanted to resign. On the podcast, I think it's DK mentioned, put Joe on free safety and Minka as strong safety and let him roam. Nah, man, because it ain't about that. I ain't mad at the idea that you're proposing, but it's not about that. It's still about the money. Regardless of where you put him, it's still, are you going to... What's Joe Hayden going to accept? He's already making like 10 or 11 million a year. So you still got to look at that side of things, you know. And of course, moving him takes the corner responsibility away. So I feel you there, but I just wouldn't extend that type of money. What up, Floyd? My big brother Floyd in the building. Yeah, I'm actually going to see Floyd next weekend, man. So I'm sure this is something that we'll be talking about because by that time, you know, there's another game that's in the books. Is the game on Saturday next week? Or is it during the week long? If it's on Saturday, you know, we're going to try to find a way to watch that thing. You know, I'll be down in Virginia next weekend. And yeah, not to put Minka as strong safety. Nah. Yeah, I don't know, Enigma. This is somewhat of an enigma. I don't know. I don't know what you talk about, brother. I respect all opinions, but at the same time, I have to challenge opinions that seem a little crazy. Don't pay TJ? Fam. All our life, we had to fight. We've been fighting to look for a premier pass rusher. Now we don't want to pay him. Come on, bro. How that make sense? I'm just saying. How that makes sense to not pay TJ after all this time we've been trying to find a pass rusher? All right, man. I'm about to roll up out of here, man. Literally 2 more minutes and then we're gone. Let's see if a couple more comments come through before then. Debbie. Hey, Miss Debbie, how you doing this evening? Sorry, I'm just now seeing you. Debbie said Jordan stops. So Jordan must be going crazy. Facts, Rajon. The fans, some of us, man, some of the fans has gone crazy. I see. I know my brother Tony gonna know them moves. Tony, I'm surprised you ain't know the other one. Be cool, man. The car is parked. Floyd might know that one too. That's an old one. That was one I was probably watching when I was too young to be watching. I had no business watching it. Man, listen, Enigma. TJ is worth being the highest paid defensive player. Period. Oh, of course you saw it, Floyd, and I didn't see it. I knew you caught it. Movies like that I only watched because of you and Big Brother. So yeah, I knew you caught it. I missed it. But yeah, man, listen, bro, Enigma, you gotta chill, man. Cause I'm gonna say something right now that might break your heart. I love Minkah Fitzpatrick. Right now, Minkah Fitzpatrick contractually is not worth more than TJ Watt. Let's stop playing these games. He's not. And I love Minkah. We're gonna sign both of them. We will sign both of them. But you're not telling me to not sign TJ to sign Minkah. Stop, man. Stop it, bro. I'm just saying. They both gonna get their money. Like, all right, man. What else y'all got? Last one of the night, and then I'm out of here. Jason Winningham says Joe has to realize that we're not going to pay him with the same thing next year for that discount and 1 year so he can retire. That's it. That's it. I fully agree with that. And I see that Double T has his thinking hat on as well. Yeah, that's what Minkah's average. Come on, man. Y'all know how football works. Do we not know how football works now as long as we've been watching the NFL? It's value. And that is not me slighting Minkah Fitzpatrick. I think Minkah Fitzpatrick is super dope for us. I don't want him going anywhere. But he's not valued in the NFL as high as a pass rusher. Come on. We could get out of our feelings on this one. You don't even have to do that. Just look at the position. Come on, man. Come on. But all right, man, I'm out of here. Y'all have a good night. I'm going to go spend a little time with my lady tonight, man. Just a little more time. You know, we try to stay up and chill for at least a little while before we go to sleep. We can stay up a little longer because we're both working from home. But let me get on out of here, man. Love you guys. Again, Steelers got another win. Let's go dissect this film, and we'll come back on Tuesday and talk about it a little more. And by that time, maybe we have details and things of that nature in terms of the Joe Schobert and if the trade actually happens, and we'll see. But outside of that, man, one last thing I'm going to remind you guys to do if you haven't done so already. Right there. 3 little things, man. First, I need you to subscribe. Once you subscribe, I need you to cut on your notifications. And then, of course, if you like what you see, like it. Thumbs up. Helps me out tremendously. And if you don't like it, thumb it down. I'll take that as well. But other than that, everyone be safe. God bless. Good nights. And thank you for tuning in to the Terrible Towel post-game show. Peace.